What up, everybody? InstructaBeats back again here with our statistics unit. Today we're going to be looking at showing numerical data using one of my favorites, a box and whisker plot. So let's look at the data and see what our objective is today. Our objective today I will be able to represent the data collected visually by using a box and whiskers plot. So this goes along with our last couple lessons where we're talking about different ways to show the data we're collecting. And so we talked about a dot plot and a histogram. And today we're talking about a box and whiskers plot. So your box and whisker plot visually shows the quartiles, the interquartile range, and the outliers. It's good for quickly looking over large amounts of data, and then eventually you can compare the data. You can have two box and whisker plots next to each other, and you can really compare them, but that's down the road. Today we're just working on making the box and whisker plots and being able to read the box and whisker plots correctly. Let's start with our most trusted question about how many stuffed animals your classmates have. We've done this same question with a dot plot, a histogram, and now we're going to be doing it with our box and whiskers plot. This is not a good set of data to do this with, but we want to use the same data for all three. This data is really good for a dot plot, which is what I would recommend if you were making it to do it with, but we want to be able to, for you to have in your notes the same question showed visually three different ways. So the first thing you want to do when you are doing a box and whisker plot is you want to be able to find your interquartile range. So we're going to start by finding our median and listing them from least to greatest. So here I have 2, 1, I have 2, 2, 2 again, I have a 4, a 5, a 6, and a 7. So your range here is going to be an 8. Your minimum was 0 and your maximum was 8. When you cross these out, you're going to find your median right here in the middle, and your median is going to be a 3. Okay, so median was 3 because you had two numbers left and you need to average those together. Your first quartile, again, is going to be to the left of your median. You're going to find the median of the numbers left of your median is going to be 1 and 5/10 because you're down to 2, okay, and you have to average those out. That's going to be your first quartile. Your third quartile is going to be 6.5 right here, and we're going to label that as Q3. So now we have all the information we need to make our box and whisker plot. We want to start with an x-axis. We want to add some arrows here because we know it's a number line. There we go. And I'm just going to start with 0 down here, then 1, 2, 3, there we go, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So we want to be able, when you make a box and whisker plots, you're going to start with your median in your first quartile and third quartile. So I know my median down here, there we go, was 3. So right here, I'm going to draw a line, okay, because I'm going to be making a box right here. My first quartile was 1.5, so kind of in between right there. There we go. My third quartile was 6.5, so right here. And then I'm going to make a box. Whoop, there we go. So here you can see my median, okay, or your second quartile. So go ahead and label this box and whisker plot. This first line is going to be your first quartile, and then the end of your box is going to be your third quartile, okay? So you can very clearly see your first, your second, your third quartile. Now, that's your box. Now you need your whiskers. So your whiskers are going to be your minimum and maximum. So here, we're going to draw kind of a smaller line. My minimum was 0, and I'm going to connect that with a line right here. My maximum was 8, so I'll connect that with a line. And there's your box and whisker plot. Let's label our parts of this. So here we have our minimum. Okay, that's kind of the end of your whisker. Your maximum, or the biggest data value you have, is at the end of it. And then the middle box, this is your middle 50%, just like we talked about in our last lesson with interquartile range. You go from first quartile to third quartile, so 50% of your data is going to be in that box, and then the rest of it's going to be spread out in the whisker. Now the thing that's important to remember here is you don't have data that goes all the way from 6.5 to 8, right? Like you don't have a 7, a 7.5, and an 8, okay? You don't know, which is why this is not very good for small groups of data because it's not individualized, it's grouping them so you can kind of make a group inference about all of the data together, but it is really good at showing the dispersion of the data and then how big your interquartile range is, and then what your median is. So it's really good when you're looking at large pieces of data, but if you're trying to find individual data values, it's obviously not very good because you don't know where all the data spots were in here between 1/2 and 6 1/2, but you do know that 50% of your data is in your box. This is my favorite one to make because A, it has a cool name, Box and Whiskers, and 2, it looks really cool. So I know this says you try, okay, and if you are ready, you can pause the video and try to make this yourself. But if it was a little bit confusing, let's just do this as another we do problem, and then you can always do your practice to kind of master the technique and what you're supposed to be doing. This is the exact same question from our last lesson. So if you are doing our playlist, you should have this question and all the information you already need in your notes. You don't need to find all of that information again. You don't need to find the minimum and the maximum and the interquartile range because you already have it in your notes if you've been doing our playlist. If you haven't been, sorry, you gotta do all that work, okay? But it says a class of 7th grade students were collecting data for a project. They decided to survey 20 other students to find how many apps they had on their phone. This is the data, right? They put it in a little chart. So here's my x-axis down here. Let me move that down a little bit. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a dual screen right here so you can see the information that we already found from last lesson in my box and whisker plot. So if you remember, we already found our mean, our median, and all of that. So we know you know how to find this information. We just want to practice showing it visually using a box and whisker plot. I'll do it in red because I like red. So my median was 15.5. So you can see my intervals here are going to be 4. So 15.5 would be probably about right here. All right, there you go. And that's going to be my second quartile. There you go. And you don't actually have to label this because it's kind of implied once you know that that middle line is your second quartile, or in other words, your median. You know, your first quartile was 11, so it's going to be kind of in between 8 and 12 right here. Your third quartile was 28, so right on this line. And then you want to make your box. All right, there we go. You can very clearly see your first quartile, your median, and your third quartile. Your minimum for the data, okay, was going to be 0. So you're going to go all the way down to 0 right here and connect that. And your maximum was all the way to 34, okay? So it's going to be halfway in between 32 and 36. There we go. And you're going to connect those. And there's your box and whisker plot. Now you don't have to label it. You could if you want to put Q1 here, Q3, and label your minimum maximum. You don't have to do that, but that's how you make your box and whisker plot. So pretty simple, especially if you already know about the interquartile range. If you're struggling with that, go ahead and watch our last lesson. But you're just kind of showing it, and again, kind of fun to make. And you can very clearly see where your 50% of your data was. Okay, so you can kind of see that central group. You can actually see your median. Okay, so according to the median, your center would have been right here, and then you can see the spread of the data. Again, very good at looking at large groups of data. Thank you so much for checking us out today. We know there's lots of different options online. We love that you spend your time with InstructaBeats. Please like and comment. If you haven't done so already, we'd love for you to join our InstructaBeats family by clicking the subscribe button. We will not bother you, but you can check out our awesome videos and other resources. You can follow us on any of our social media platforms. Again, thank you so much. InstructaBeats out.